Stupid. You stupid. Is it live? Is it live? I don't know if it's live. I think it's live. I think we're live. Can I mute myself while I do this? Yes. Okay, now it's unmuted. I'm trying to remember how I had this set up before. I don't think it was this. Guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. I don't think this is how it was set up. This is very odd. At least it's not as like cloudy as it was. Oh, my camera's not on either. Or my camera. My light. I don't think these headphones can reach that. Hold please. Sorry for any noise the microphone makes. Sorry. Oh no, you can see my butt. You can see my fat. Oh my god. Oh my god, no! So, quick question, okay? So there is an ability for me to stream horizontally. I can do that now. Hopefully not seeing too much of my messy ass room. The question is, do I start streaming horizontally? Because when you stream vertically, like this, it allows your stream to show up on the shorts feed. So people who are watching shorts can possibly see your stream. So the question is that more important? You know, my room's a fucking mess. I got dirty laundry there. I got granola bar wrappers on the bed. I didn't take them downstairs yet. Oh my god, I almost pushed my glass thing on the floor with Greta and Stripe. And all these noises. Okay, that's better. That's better. There we go. Okay. I couldn't remember how I had it set up. I never remember how I had it set up. That's what I mean. Yeah, like I think I would prefer horizontal just because that's like, you know, that's like a video kind of thing. But then I was like, for exposure though, to do more vertical. Because it's kind of like TikTok. When you're scrolling through TikTok, you'll see lives. Like I'll pop up as a live. So I think that makes more sense to keep it this way. I don't know if it's appealing in that way though, you know? Also, I'm not listening to myself, so does my sound okay? Does it sound odd? I look like I'm like, I'm just a little baby. This is as high as my chair goes. Sorry. Oh, you're going home soon? That's exciting. See my shirt? I wore this shirt on purpose because I got this shirt and I like love it. It's a peace sign, obviously. And look at my breasts. And I wore it on purpose because I knew I want to stream with it on. So I was like, I'm gonna wear this because it's gonna force me to stream because I want to make sure I show it on stream. So, ooh, pics! Oh my god, sir, this stream is not marked for children, so you're fine. I haven't talked about a lot of. I mean, I've talked about them in Discord, but I haven't talked about a lot of movies with you guys because we didn't do a live stream last month. We didn't do one. So we're doing one now. Sign in with IMDb. There's my password. I've had so many. Is this Chatterbait? Sir, you're gonna get banned from YouTube. I've had so many issues, like that ad on my Xbox. Like, what is that? And then the I turned my computer on because Vetter went live. I was like, oh, let me watch Vetter. Turn my computer on, says I have enough battery, like half battery. And then, I'm waiting for my password screen to come up, and then it shuts off. So I'm like, okay. So I try to turn it on, and it says I have no battery power. So I plug it in, and my computer says I have 51% battery. How do I have 51% battery and it can't power itself on? So no, I on True Achievements, they posted an article about the new Call of Duty game and its achievements. And somebody in the comments said they got a full screen ad when they turned on their Xbox today. So I replied to them and commented back, how I did too. And oh my God, like, what is this anarchy type of stuff? So, I mean, they didn't respond yet, but I'm not the only person who has gotten it. And I think that's important. Important. It just annoys me so much. Well, because they already changed the dashboard. Before you could like move stuff up, like I would move things down I didn't care about. Because when you scroll down, it's like, oh, new games, oh, store sales, oh, your friends, what your friends are doing. And you could rearrange those things. But they changed it, so now you can't even rearrange them anymore. They're just there. So it's like, if I have to get to the friends list section, I have to go through Game Pass ad and Game Pass ad. And it's like, I have Game Pass. I have the highest tier of Game Pass. I pay you the most money anyone could pay you. I don't need advertisements for the thing I already have. Like, God. It's so obnoxious. And they don't let you edit it. And you used to be able to do like a bunch of groups. Like if you wanted to do like your Assassin's Creed group or your Forza group or your Call of Duty group, now you can only have 2 groups total. My groups are usually games I play often. So that's what my current group is. Yeah, I mean, I get it, but it's like, I don't care if you give me ads. Just give me ads for stuff I don't own. Like, why give me ads for my Game Pass? Telling me to subscribe to Game Pass when I subscribe to Game Pass, and I have for years. Like, why keep that going? It's frankly dumb. I don't know why I wanted to listen to myself, because I don't listen to myself when I stream on Twitch, right? Exactly. You have a question? Oh God. Here we go. I don't know how loud that was. If it was too loud, let me know. I'll try to mute myself next time. What is your question? Tell me. Tell me what your question is. Yeah. Why is there so much camera space above my head? I don't know. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. To be honest, I didn't even have it in my plan to talk about that. I didn't even think about that. You think I should edit it and re-upload a new thumbnail? Because I can. Once the video's like posted, I can change the thumbnail. Huh, I didn't think about that. I really didn't really care for it at all. Like, it wasn't even that entertaining. That's true, that's true, that's true. Also, I'm getting hot. Like, there were so many things in it that could have been, like, changed to be a little bit better, It was just... I don't know. It's hard to describe the things that were wrong with it without watching it again and really watching it. Because it's there's just so many things that just if you just tweak them a little bit, change the angle, change the sound effect, or change like the way it looks on screen, it would make the scenes infinitely better. And yeah, I mean, maybe I'll rewatch it here at home because I was watching it at my friend's house. But oh, oh yeah, when you said that, I was like, "Is it?" And then I watched it, and within like the first 15 minutes, you're like, "That's the bad guy." The only thing I didn't know, I was trying to figure out the cops' involvement. So I was thinking like, is she a ghost too? Was she like a former employee at the place, or was she a cop that came to investigate? She got killed, and now she's a ghost. Like, what is it? And like he's just seeing her because he's like sleepwalking all the time. So maybe he's just seeing her like at his house. But then the daughter saw him, but the daughter can see go like I don't know. I was just trying to figure it out. I'm getting super overheated. Friend of the kids when she was young. True, because I was like, is she just like a rent-a-cop type of situation? Is she not real? So I was trying to figure it out as well. And then they told you, and it's just like, okay, cool. Good to know. I'm getting like hot. I guess I could change my pants into shorts, but we'll stick with this right now. Discord, you gonna pop up or what there, bud? Right. So, what should we talk about first? I already have the creator up, so we can talk about the creator. Um, I'm very surprised the creator isn't as popular as I thought it would be. Yeah. Nothing? Do you want me to give you the storyline? Amid a future war between human race and the forces of artificial intelligence, Joshua, which is Denzel Washington's son, John David Washington, I think his name is, a hardened ex-special forces agent grieving the disappearance of his wife, is recruited to hunt down and kill the creator, the elusive architect of advanced IA, who has developed a mysterious weapon with the power to end war and mankind itself. Spooky. Does this not show? This doesn't show that you're live on, I guess not. I was looking at T1BG's Discord because his thing automatically shows that you're live on Twitch, but it doesn't show that you're live on YouTube. Except the bus ads. I didn't read the bus part. I just saw ads. Bus ads. I guess our buses have ads. I never look at them. Usually they're for the colleges around here. November. All right. All right. True. I mean, you can get paid to get like advertisement decals put on your car nowadays. I was trying to see if they had the money. Oh, here we go. The budget is about 80 million. Its worldwide gross 98 million. Ouch. No good. But less than half of that's from the US and Canada. That's crazy. It means it did much better overseas. I could edit. Apparently I could edit that. Okay. I don't want to edit that. Thank you. I enjoyed it. So you're basically just kind of thrown into a world where this like military forces of humanity hate all robots, but there's this group of people another part of the human population who love robots because the robots were used as nannies, employees, farmers, stuff like that. And then some of them you could transplant your loved ones' thoughts and stuff and put them into an artificial robot, and it can even synthesize their faces and put that on there. So, like if your granny's getting ready to pass away, you can scan her brain waves, and when she passes, you can implant that into a robot, and they can manufacture her a face so she looks like your grandma, and then she'll have all the memories that you have about her, up to the point when you scanned her. Obviously, she won't have memory of dying. Which is not a new idea. That's been done in other movies and TV shows like Black Mirror and stuff. But so people grow to love their robot companions. Well, I mean, I get it. That's weird. Because then, when I'm 70 years old and I got robot grandma here who died 80 years ago, or not 80 years ago, but died like 50 years ago, then what? She's like, I'm watching my grandson die. But that's what I mean. So there's a whole bunch of different things. So there's just like robot workers and people and robots like that. And then you can have those type of robots. You can have romance robots. Like there's different versions of them. I mean, a lot of them just have robot faces. They don't have humanoid faces. But you can volunteer your face to be used in these robots, which I don't want to. Well, that's not really a spoiler. So, the main guy's wife, who he's looking for, she donated her face to this company or to the robots. So he thinks he sees her all over the place, but it's really just a robot with her face on because they use her face as a thing. You're gonna volunteer my face? I don't know. I don't think they want fatty faces. Like, I'm sorry, we don't want our robots having 12 chins. Thank you. Actually, I don't think you can see it on here because it's a little blurry. Can you see my, Oh, I can make my stream better quality. That's funny. Can you see my hair on my face? It's very subtle. I ran out of shaving cream and I haven't shaved in like a week, and this is all that's grown. It's like nothing. But it's super patchy. It's missing a bunch of spots. But I didn't want to shave. I want to take a picture for my Killer the Flower Moon review. I'm going to put my cowboy hat on. I have a little bit of hair on my face for it. Oh, can you see it in the thumbnail? Okay. It's not a bunch. My hair doesn't grow very fast on my face. I'm going to open my thumbnail now and look at it. Oh, you can kind of see it. But if it grew in better, I would probably grow it out. But it's patchy. Ah, rugged. It's too patchy to grow in. For a while there in Hawaii, I tried growing it out, and it's not good. We've got too many bald. Like there's like a full smooth sections. Like there's no hair at all. So, well, I'm sorry that you're a real man and I'm a prepubescent boy, Prince. God, sorry. I'm not that fuzzy. What is this movie rated? This movie is rated PG-13, which makes sense. There's a lot of action, gun violence. Did I rate this on here? I don't need to add. I did. I gave it an 8 out of 10. So, the movie's very beautiful. Its special effects are fantastic. It's very seamless. There wasn't a single moment in the movie where I was like, oh, that looks a little fake. Obviously, things are fake, but none of them really stuck out to me where I thought, oof, that looks rough. So, it was really, really good looking. I just wish there was more to the story. I don't know. I don't know if it just wasn't appealing enough to people to go back to the movies. Like, there are people who still don't go to the movies, which I think is insane. I mean, They just got so used to not going to the movies during COVID that they literally don't go to the movies anymore. And I think that's so crazy. I mean, COVID's not over, but I mean, the worst of it's over. And I mean, the movie looks interesting, doesn't it? Don't the trailers look interesting? I thought it looked interesting. There's a lot of heartfelt things in it. Yes, I did shed a tear or two during this one. So I mean, it's a good movie. It's not groundbreaking story wise, but I mean, visually it's beautiful and the story is good enough to keep you hooked the whole time. Like I honestly don't know. I think it's so strange because it barely made back its budget. I don't think it'll be a franchise anyway. I mean, the way it ended, you could make more of them, but I feel like another one after this would probably just be too close to a story to this one, or they'd have to time jump a bit so the characters are older, so you can try to get more of a thing going on there. But no, yeah, I thought it was really good. I don't know. Whatever. You people are stupid. True, true. I do think that as well. There's just nothing compares to the movie experience. I mean, nothing. That's why I say, like, if there's a concert that I would want to see that comes to the movies, nothing's going to compare to that. Because you can watch something at home, even if you have an amazing sound system, it's not going to be the same as a movie theater. Like, you'd have to have a projection screen that's humongous and a state of the art sound system in order for you to feel the same way you do at the movies. And most people don't have that. I don't have that. Yeah, I would go see the Madonna one. Depends how much it is. Knowing her, it might be a little pricey. But I mean, the Taylor Swift one, I think it was on Halloween. They lowered the tickets to 13.13. I think normally they were like 20 some dollars or 19.89 or something like that. Some number that she likes. I think they lowered them though to 13.13 on Halloween. Halloween only, but yeah. That's what I mean. Like that I'm excited about because tons of people are going to see those movie concerts. And I think that's great. Because Beyonce has hers coming out in December. You know that's going to be huge. Huge. And you're going to have all those stupid... It bugs me every time I see it on TikTok. That whole mute challenge. Like when she's singing, she's everybody on mute. And she expects the entire stadium to go quiet. And people get pissed off when somebody goes, woo! And all that. So I feel like they're going to be doing that in the movie theater too. I won't go see it, but... I feel like if like one of my friends wanted to go see it, I would go see it with them. But I like Beyonce just fine, but I probably wouldn't go see her in concert. So, and my pass doesn't make it any cheaper. Oh yeah, it's all. I mean, it's all over my YouTube. It's yeah. It's one of her. It's part of her songs. And everybody on mute, and then she cuts off the music, and then she expects everybody in the whole stadium, like all 50,000 people to shut up. Let's go see it. We can go see it in 4X or 4D or whatever and have Beyonce spitting on us and have the fan blowing our hair. Yeah, so. But I'm glad it's getting people back to the movies. That's the big thing. Get people back to the movies. And the mystery movie thing is pretty popular in my area. I don't know if it's popular in your area, but it's super popular in mine. I mean, we're talking 40 to 50 people every time it happens. I mean, they haven't expanded to the big theaters yet. Actually, I think when we first started going, it wasn't a big theater. But I think the demand wasn't big enough for them to have it in a big theater. So they started putting the smaller theaters. But now it's kind of like too small because it's hard for me to get a seat that's not with people around me. Unless you want to sit in the nosebleed, not the nosebleed, the close-up thing. What, the mystery movie? Oh, yeah. I mean, when I went The 2 times I went was with my friend. I mean, it wasn't a date, but we were both disappointed. But I mean, she enjoyed the Christmas one a bit more than me because she doesn't mind Christmas stuff like that. But I wasn't a big fan. But no, I think it's fine. The next one's PG-13, so I'm thinking it's probably going to be that Taika Waititi movie, the soccer one. Next goal wins or first goal wins, something like that. That's what I'm thinking, because that's PG-13, and that seems like a mystery movie. I'll probably go see that anyway, though, because I mean, all the hot, what are they, Samoan? Australian? Maori? I'll have to see where they're from. But a bunch of beefy dudes playing soccer. I'll probably go see it in my own time, because if I can't go Monday, so. Cause the man, starting off because of Michael Fassbender. He looks like a weird albino guy in that movie. His weird blonde hair and his weird blonde beard. Ugh. But all those thick dudes playing soccer. All right. Gareth Edwards. Who's Gareth Edwards? He's the director of The Creator. I want to see what else he's done. He's a white man. He did Monsters of Visual Effects. He directed Godzilla, the 2014. Oh, he did Star Wars, a Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Okay. It has a similar-ish feel to that. But, I mean, when it comes out, I'd say watch it. It doesn't have any listings for streaming yet, so I don't think it's out on streaming just yet. It still has show times. So I was on TikTok earlier, and people were they were making complaints about Austin Butler playing Elvis, because like there's a new Elvis movie. Well, it's called Priscilla, so it's about Priscilla Presley, who was like 14 when she met Elvis, but they didn't date until she was of age. And how the guy who plays Elvis in that is better than Austin Butler. And people were like hating on Austin Butler in the comments. I'm like, did you not see Elvis? Like, Austin Butler was phenomenal in that movie. And he sang. He sang in the movie. But people are like, oh, well, he took it too seriously, and he was talking like Elvis outside the movie. And it's like, okay. Like, I get that. I did see him talking at, like, the Oscars, I think. And he still had that kind of talking voice like Elvis. But, I mean, okay. Does that mean he was bad? No. Like, he literally sang music, Elvis's music, as Elvis in that movie. Not all of it, but he did sing in it. I thought it was great. I love that movie. And again, that's a movie that I feel like you would want to see in theaters if you like Elvis music, obviously. So you can hear that music in the theaters. I didn't really know much about him before Elvis, to be honest. I mean, I think I knew he existed. But I mean, could I tell you what he's been in? There he is, Austin Butler. I know he's young. He's a wee little boy. It was a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. See, I saw that movie. I didn't know he was in it because I didn't know who he was. I think he's cute, yeah. But isn't he like a child? 1991. Okay, he's not that young. He's not as young as I thought he was. He's only a couple years younger than me. He's in a new movie. Exactly. I didn't know he was that old. Now it doesn't feel as dirty. I saw a preview for his new movie called The Bike Riders. He's part of a bike gang. It doesn't look like something I would watch, but he does not talk like Elvis in it. He talks like himself. I think it's because his regular voice is a little higher. Yeah, I got a chance for that straight guy to like me. Ah. Tom Hardy's in it. Michael Shannon's in it. You know, those are pretty big names. Norman Reedus. Daryl from The Walking Dead. Jodie Comer is the female lead. Don't know who that is. But yeah, that's the movie he's going to be in coming up soon. It looks, biker guy falls in love with chick. She wants to change him. He kind of wants to get out of the game. They tell him, you can't get out of the game because you're family. Blah, 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 blah. Didn't look too exciting. Like that. So, is it called Silent Night? The one with the guy from Suicide Squad? Joel Kinnaman. That does not look very good. I don't think he talks in it. Because he gets shot in the throat in the beginning and he loses his ability to talk. But it is made by John Woo. It's directed by John Woo, which interests me. But the movie itself doesn't really interest me. I guess I just watch it for the action. Kid Cootie's in it. I feel like he's been in quite a few things recently. Said it is Kid Cootie. He was an ex. Sure, that means I've seen his butt because he was one of the male performers. Yeah, I don't think it looks very good. All right, don't worry. I'm used to talking to myself, so I can maintain. Okay. So usually these are about 2 hours, so we'll see. I can see my battery now, so I can see how far it's going. Before I couldn't see my battery power, but now I can see it. So, thanks. You're just gonna have to rewatch the VOD 20 times. God, I can't suck in much. Alrighty, so we talked about the creator. Alrighty. So what's next on the list of movies? We can talk about Saw. I keep putting Sax instead of Saw in it. When we clicked on images, I kept getting... Yeah, and a little bit of Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, I'll throw that in there. And I kept getting inappropriate pictures when I put Sax X instead of Saul X. Bye. Bye. All right. Sax. No, S-A-X. S-A-X. Instead of S-A-W. So sax like saxophone to me, but sax is very close to another word with a different vowel. So, Saw X, or Saw 10. John Kramer, Tobin Bell, is back. The most chilling installment of the Saw franchise yet explores the untold chapter of Jigsaw's most personal game. Set between the events of Saw 1 and Saw 2, oh, it actually tells you that a sick and desperate John travels to Mexico for a risky and experimental medical procedure in hopes of a miracle cure for his cancer. Oh, they tell you the whole plot in this one. See, I didn't read this when I went to go see the movie, so I was actually surprised by it. Only to discover the entire operation is a scam to defraud the most vulnerable. Armed with a newfound purpose, John returns to his work, turning the tables on the con artist in his signature, visceral way through a series of ingenious and terrifying traps. Ah. So, Saul. What is there to say about Saul? I heard a lot of raving reviews about Saul X. And I think that's interesting. I didn't rate it yet. Let me rate it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should I give it a 7? Let's talk about it first before I give it a rating. Saul. So, now oh God. I've already seen Saul 1, 2, and 3, and I remembered pretty much what happened in each one. So I rewatched, or I watched for the first time, I should say, Saul 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I already saw 9 because 9 is Spiral from the Book of Saul. I already seen that one before I went and saw this movie. Is it necessary? No. But there are little throwbacks and there are tidbits here and there that would help you understand more of the story in Saul 10 if you see the other ones. If you see the first 3 or 4, you're pretty much good. Amanda comes back, so she, not a spoiler because I mean it's been a long time, she died in the third movie. I believe it's the third one. Might have been the second one, but they rehash things so much in the Saul franchise, it's hard to keep track. So she's dead. So obviously, if she's in this movie, it's a flashback. And then every subsequent Saul movie they have, they show you other layers. So it's like, oh, Amanda was his apprentice, and they don't mention anything else about anybody else. And then in Saw 4, it's like, oh, but he also had another apprentice. And it's like, oh, but you never mentioned that apprentice. And then in Saw 5, they show that apprentice interacting with Amanda. And it's like, oh, so he knew Amanda. But they never mentioned that he knew Amanda. Amanda never mentioned him either. Weird. And it just kind of, they just keep adding things to the lore of Jigsaw. And I think by Saw 7, there's another apprentice in there. And it's just like, how, like, it makes it kind of convoluted because you just keep adding these layers to this Saul onion, and it's odd. It really is. Let's see. But anyway, so Saul X or Saul 10, it's fine. It's a fine movie. I mean, it's similar to any of the other Saul movies. It's not groundbreaking at all. Nothing super exciting. The traps aren't, I don't know. Since this is early John Kramer, the traps to me aren't super inventive, and some of them are just kind of unfair, which I think is interesting because John's whole thing was, it's fair. You have a chance to survive, and it's like, yeah, but some of these are just okay. I'll survive, but I'll be missing a chunk of my brain. Like, you want me to cut a piece of my brain out, so I have to cut open my skull, my own skull, and take out chunks of my brain and put that on a scale. Like, that's not a very good trap. It's gruesome, but to have somebody survive and, love life and change their ways with what? Half a brain in their head? Nah, that doesn't make any sense. The other one was like a guy who was stealing and it like broke his fingers. That trap was fine because your fingers would heal and you could survive. Did he survive? I'm not going to tell you. But I mean, that trap made sense because it had to do with his crime. And then if he made it through, he would live. Like how Amanda made it through her reverse bear trap and she lived. The guy in the first movie had to cut off his leg, which is kind of extreme. But I mean, but you live. But cutting out a chunk of your brain, and you don't know what piece of brain you're tearing out of your head. You're just, so it could be your motor skills. It could be your ability to walk. It could be whatever. And it just didn't make any sense to me. So, I mean, again, gruesome, fits Saul, but it just didn't make any sense to me for John to do that. But I mean, it wasn't a terrible movie. I just kept waiting for something awesome to happen because the way people were talking about it, I was just like, okay, what's cool? What's new? One guy was really cute in it. Who was it? The guy who played Diego? You know, I'm always watching movies and like, who's cute? Yeah, it's that guy. He's cute. This is the only movie he's ever done. Like, I've done movies. Oh, he's only done a handful, mostly in Spanish. But but yeah. So unless you am I stuck in a loop of this picture? Thank you. God, I kept hitting back and I kept taking with his profile picture and then back to his page. This profile picture and then back to the page. It's like just take me back to Saul. Thank you. It was nice seeing Shawnee Smith again. I don't know what she's been in recently, but I do like her a lot. And she's fun. She was back as Amanda. She was a little neurotic, but I mean, I guess Amanda's neurotic as well. She's a former addict. So I guess that makes sense that she'd be kind of scrappy or schizophrenic like. But again, she was healed by her trap. Not healed by her trap, but you know what I mean. Had her life changed from the trap. I should watch Gen V. You think I'd like Gen V? I think I might like Gen V. Anyhow, so would I recommend it? I mean, if you're a fan of the Saw movies, I'd say definitely go see it. You might like it more than I did. I don't think anything was wrong with it. I just don't. Most of the Saw movies are kind of throwaway movies, especially the later ones. They just kept getting like the people who were in the traps were just so far like not connected to what was happening with the person doing the traps. So you had like a whole storyline with Jigsaw's apprentice and stuff and what he was going through. I just spoiled it. I said he. I'm sorry. What they were going through. And then you have like the traps over here, and it's just like some of them just weren't connected. I think the 3D one, there wasn't much connection between those two storylines, and it was just kind of eh. So, but Saw X is a little more connected, obviously because it's Jigsaw doing it, which is what people want. People want Jigsaw. It's not as interesting if it's not Jigsaw. But some of them, they weren't too bad. I mean, Tobin Bell's getting up there in age. I think he's in his 70s now. When was he born? 1942. Yeah, he's old. Amanda, you want to play a game? He was in the Flash TV show. Look at that. He has a very distinct face. All right. So yeah, so that's Saw X. Manson Family Vacation. What the fudge? I want to give Saw a 6.5, but it won't let me. It doesn't allow me to give it a 6. Two brothers tour Charles Manson murder sites. One is a devoted family man, one is devoted to the family. Oh, man. Jay Duplass. Oh, it's a Kickstarter movie. It's slow and not interesting. Oh, well, we're not going to watch that anyway, so. Anyway, so let's talk. It's not on my thumbnail. I'm going to change it and add it to the thumbnail. So, a good old one that everybody's talking about now that's doing phenomenal numbers in the movie theaters. Phenomenal numbers. Which is crazy to me. Where's the money? Where's the money? It's opening weekend. Opening weekend for Five Nights at Freddy's was $80 million. $80 million opening weekend. Its budget was 20. It made 4 times its budget in opening weekend. And to remind you, it also launched on Peacock for free same day. That's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I attribute it to Five Nights at Freddy's being a popular video game. I mean, when did that come out? Five Nights at Freddy's. I think it came, at least the first one, came out at 2014. So it's almost been 10 years since the game came out. So if you have 10-year-olds then, they're now 20-year-olds. So they're excited to see this movie because it's a game they loved. And then I think the Five Nights at Freddy games were on Game Pass there recently. So, it's been, and there's multiple of them. Five Nights at Freddy, Freddy in Space, Security Breach, Help Wanted, Five Nights at Freddy 4. Like, there's a whole bunch of them. I never played them because I have no real interest in playing them. I know exactly what they are, but they don't appeal to me. So, but yeah, so people really like it. So I think it's just a strange niche phenomenon that's going on with this movie that people are just in love with it. Apparently, I'm dying here, and I think it's great for people who love the movie. I didn't enjoy it very much. I thought it was real basic. It wasn't scary. I mean, it is PG-13, which makes sense because it's for that crowd, the younger crowd, or people who are fans of it. I mean, some people were saying it should be more bloody, but I mean, if you made it rated R, it would not have the money that it has right now, because the appeal is that, oh, we can take little Jimmy to go play or go watch it. Jimmy's 11 or 12. He can go watch it. How scary can it be? It's fuzzy robots. So I think that's why it's just doing so well. I mean, it has a recognizable guy in it, Josh Hutcherson. Matthew Lillard's in it, who we all know, love, and adore. Why is he not listed as one of the top cast members? Matthew Lillard literally not listed here in the cast. It's not a secret he's in it. He's in the trailer. There we go. I don't know. But it wasn't very good. It's almost 2 hours. It's an hour and 49 minutes. If you like it, though, I think that's great. I do think it's a good introductory horror movie for younger kids or younger folks. I mean, when I was younger, we didn't watch a lot of horror movies. I did watch Aliens, which can be scary for kids. I watched Jaws, which could be scary. And one of the first movies I watched was April Fool's Day. But this movie, I think it's going to continue to do well. I mean, it is free on Peacock. I mean, if you have Peacock, it is on Peacock. Peacock. Yeah, it just wasn't. I don't know. It just wasn't for me. Maybe I'll rewatch it at some point at home, because I did watch it at a friend's house. I was a little distracted. But I guess I can always rewatch it at home. Get kind of a feel for it, but I genuinely don't want to rewatch it anytime soon. It's not on my to-do list, to be honest. It's just not interesting enough for me to want to watch it again. I mean, Josh Hutcherson does a good job. Hutcherson. His acting wasn't bad or anything. It just didn't have much going for it to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just so used to seeing bloody things going on in horror movies. I've seen so many horror movies this month. since I have the movie pass, I've just been watching everything I could find, and I've been watching a bunch at home. So maybe I'm just kind of jaded to the gore of stuff. So I just kind of watched it. I was just kind of bored by it, but I feel like it might be more fun to watch with somebody who's a fan of it, because then we can see them getting excited. Oh my god, it's Chica! Or oh my god, it's Foxy! Or whatever. But I mean, like I said, it was fine. I probably won't watch it again, but we'll see. All right, so that is Five Nights at Freddy's. What other movies did we talk about here? Did Saw? You're probably wondering why Mary Tyler Moore and Bob Newhart are on my thing. So I was watching. So I am a lover of classic TV things. Not all classic TV, but quite a bit of it. Like I love the Dick Van Dyke Show, and I Love Lucy. I enjoy the Munsters, Addams Family, I Dream of Jeannie, Bewitched. Although those I haven't seen in a very long time. Those last two, or last four, really. But I was watching the Mary Tyler Moore Show on Prime, and I got to season 2 or 3, and then they took it off. It's no longer on there. It's now on, I think it's on Hulu now, which is annoying because I don't have Hulu. I mean, does it say what it's on? Watch options, seasons 1 through 7 on Hulu. Or I can rent or buy it from Amazon. And it's genuinely a funny show. I know it's groundbreaking. It's won a ton of awards. Let me see. Where can I see awards? Let's see. The best of all, the mother of all future sitcoms. Release dates. Can I do it this way? There we go. It doesn't say. Apparently there were spin-offs though. Rhoda had a spin-off for 4 years. Phyllis had a spin-off for 2 years. Lou Grant had a spin-off for 5 years. Interesting. I did hear about the Lou Grant one. I heard that it was more serious in tone as opposed to anything else. Let's see. Mary, that's Morari. Learn how to type there. Gremlin Tyler Moore Show Awards. List of awards and nominations received by the Mary Tyler Moore Show. It won 41 awards. It was nominated for 122. Whew. Supporting role. Okay, so they got Best Supporting Actress Ed Asner. Actor Ed Asner. Actress for Rhoda. Cool. Ted got one. Ed Asner again. Rhoda again. Cloris Leachman won one. Mary Tyler Moore won one. Ooh, they really won a bunch of stuff. That's great. I mean, it's a great show. It really is. I mean, you can see storylines from this show and how they influenced future television shows. So that's the one thing about watching older shows is that you can see how they've influenced future things. I mean, you can watch I Love Lucy and see how it influenced, Dick Van Dyke Show. You can watch Dick Van Dyke Show, see how it influenced. I think Mary Tyler Moore broke a lot of ground as well with the female lead and female empowerment. The only thing I don't like is how inconsistent they are with Mary. So you'll have Mary one episode, she's demanding a raise from Lou. I deserve it. Men shouldn't get paid more than women just because they're men. All that. I can't edit this because I speak like I'm going to edit it later. I'm not used to doing lives. But all that feminist stuff. And then the next episode, she sees a man. She's like, oh my God, he's so handsome. He can do anything. I don't care. I'll do whatever he wants. It's like, Mary, you were just so strong last episode. And now you're sitting here saying, oh, a man, own me. It's like, ugh. So it's a bit inconsistent. It might get better later on in later seasons. I haven't gotten there yet because it was canceled. Not canceled. It's no longer on my streaming service. But what it did do is it led me to another TV show, which is actually produced by Mary Tyler Moore's production company and was on at this, excuse me, on at the same time. Mary Tyler Moore is 70 to 77. Bob Newhart show was 72 to 78. So at the same time they were on TV. So Mary Tyler Moore was starring in a TV show, and her production company was producing another hit TV show. That's crazy. Is Susan Plachette dead? I think she is dead. Yeah, she was only 70 when she died. That's sad. Susan Birds. I was watching, my grandma was watching Gunsmoke earlier. She was in Will and Grace? What? I didn't know that. And I watched Will, although I didn't know who she was prior to that. She plays Lois Whitley. She was in Spirited Away. And she was in Lion King 2, playing Zira. I don't know who Zira is. I'm trying to see if she was in Gunsmoke. My grandma was watching Gunsmoke, and it caught my ear, and I was like, that sounds like, she was in Bonanza. See, my grandma was watching Bonanza. Oh no, she was in Gunsmoke, but only one episode. It just sounded like her voice. She has a very deep, amber-like voice. She's like, well, Bob. It's not super girly, like, oh my God, Bob. It's very deep. And I like it. Anyway, so the Bob Newhart show, he plays a psychologist named Bob Hartley. Continuing the trend of the main character being named after the main star, like Mary Tyler Moore named Mary Richards in the show, Bob Newhart named Bob Hartley in the show. And it's funny. It really is. Like, I am literally laughing out loud while I watch it, and it's timeless, and there's double entendres in there that are funny. They were a lot less risque back then, but sometimes you catch it and it's like, that's really clever way of saying that. Like they'll say something that's like sexy in nature, but the way they say it is surprising, and you catch it and it's like, that's funny, because you hear the audience laughing about it. It's like, wait, why did? Oh, like, wow. It does have some of the tropes, Again, it's made in the 70s, so not everything is as forward thinking. I think I've seen 2 black people on the show so far, and I'm in the 2nd season. or at least have speaking roles. It might be in the background, I didn't notice, but both of which they were both patients and they both had pretty odd issues. One guy was very angry and the other one was in like African garb. So it was really an odd thing. And there were some Asian actors in in the TV show as well, and they were basically working at Asian restaurants. Everybody in the main cast is white. Everybody in one of his patients is white. Which I mean, I don't care. Just saying, it may seem some people might get upset about that. It's a little dated in that sense, but the humor is really on. It is on fire, and it does help to know a bit more about the '70s than just casually watching it. Because you might be like, well, why don't they do this or why don't they do that? It's like because it's the '70s, they can't do that. Some of the references I do look up, like they might say a character looks like so and so, and I have to look it up because I don't know who the actor or actress is or who the politician is because again it's the '70s, and the references just aren't about the '70s. The references are about the '60s and '50s and '40s because Bob was he in? I think he was in Korea. I think he was in the Korean War. When was that? The Korean War was 1950 to 1953. So he's talking about a war 20 years before the show. And I don't know much about the Korean War, so but he'll mention things, and then I'll have to go back and check it out to kind of see what the reference was. But it's no biggie. I mean, if you care enough to get the jokes or something like, oh my God, she looks like Ernest Borgnine. And if you don't know who that is, you should look it up and see. I'm like, oh my God, she looks like him. That's funny. To kind of get you there. I'm hoping that I can finish it before it disappears from my streaming service. But we shall see. I'm looking at some of the cast. And some of these regular patients of his, we're only on 17 episodes. Maybe he gets new patients. This one patient's on there for 49 episodes. And there's 142 episodes total. So, he had another show after that called Newhart. It cracks me up. They were just giving people shows left and right. And what's the synopsis for this show? Oh, his name was Dick in that one. It wasn't Bob. Well, well, well. What's the synopsis? The misadventures of an author turned innkeeper and his friend in rural Vermont. I mean, I like Bob Newhart. I think he's so dry and super funny. I really identify with him, with his deadpan. There's an episode of Mad TV where Bob Newhart is on it, and I think he's playing a psychologist in it. And people go to him for help, and his advice is, stop it! That's it. Just stop it! And I didn't get it. I thought it was funny by itself, but now that I know that he plays a psychologist in the Bob Newhart show, it makes it funnier because you feel like he wants to say that to some of his clients. Stop it. So, yeah, it's good. It's good. I am thirsty. Look at all this talking. I've been talking for 64 minutes. Well, that only leaves one more movie on our thumbnail that we haven't talked about yet. And that movie is one of my favorite movies of this year so far. When Evil Lurks. Whew, let me tell you, that movie is heavy. It is heavy. I gave it a 9 out of 10. It's a good movie. It is in Spanish, so if you're anti-Spanish or you don't feel like reading subtitles, it's going to be rough for you. But it is in Spanish. I don't really care for dubs as much because I feel like you don't get the same the way the actors are portraying it, you don't get the same emotion. Can a dub actor capture what the other person, what the main actor is doing? Yes, but it's not going to be the same. You know, somebody screaming for their life, even if it's in Spanish, is going to sound more heart wrenching than a person in the studio screaming the same way. So, I really liked it. In a remote village, two brothers find a demon-infected man just about to give birth to evil itself. They decide to get rid of the man, but merely succeed in spreading the chaos. Rated R. Definitely rated R. It actually doesn't say what it's rated. It was only an hour and 40 minutes. I felt like it was longer than that. It's on AMC Plus. So it is out. God, it's good though. It's so good. So good. It's a clever shot. From no other angle are the horns the correct shape for it to happen. Oh. Oh. Did I read these? I know I read these. Yeah, I want to read spoilers. I've already seen it. Oh, okay. It's not really a spoiler. I mean, it's a spoiler, but... So this movie is... I'll give you a general synopsis about it. I didn't do a review about it, but... So basically, it's a world where demons exist. And how they come into the world is that they infect people. So in this movie, there is a person called the Rotted, who is in the same village as these brothers. And when they show the Rotted, it's literally a rotting human being. It's a guy, I mean, I don't know how big he was before he was rotted, but he looks like he's about 300 pounds of just pus and gunk and just grossness, with boils and pimples on his bodies, and just bloated, and looks like he's about to explode if you were to touch him with a stick. Like, super gross. And it's practical effects, which we love practical effects. Most of the effects in the movie are practical effects. There is some CGI here and there. It's not horrendous. It was noticeable in certain spots just because the lighting was a little too complicated, I guess, for them to do it correctly, but it was fine. Oh my god, why am I so tired? I don't know. Because no one's here to talk to me. Oh. But the problem is, if you kill the demon, it will. I mean, if you kill the rotted person, the demon will spawn from their corpse. So there has to be a certain way for you to kill them that will prevent the demon from coming out. And there used to be a group of people called the cleansers, and they would come and do like kind of like exorcisms. That's the other movie, The Exorcist. We're supposed to put that in the thumbnail too. I'm terrible at this. I'll have to go back and put that in. Anyway, they would come and they would kill it with their certain tools that they have to ensure that the demon doesn't spawn from it. And so what the guys find is that these cleansers don't exist anymore, basically. And so the brothers decide to move it away from their farms. The brothers and this other guy, who is an idiot. And you're not supposed to move them, because you can spread it to other things. And if somebody else kills them, they don't know. They may not know, you know. But anyway, so they decide to move it, and evil starts spreading. And the stuff that happens in this movie, oh my god, it took me by surprise. I mean, I knew it was going to be gory and stuff, but some of the stuff that happened really took me by surprise and like startled me. And I think I was the only one in the theater for that one. But I'm literally like this. In the movie theater. Dumbfounded. Like, yeah. The captions or the subtitles were fine. I had no issue following them. I had no issue reading them in time. Didn't distract me from the movie itself, so don't let that hold you back. Some of the scenes may be too shocking for certain people. I don't know how to describe it without spoiling it, but I mean, generally speaking, there is some violence towards children in the movie. So if you can't handle any type of that, it may not be the movie for you. I mean, I guess if you watch like Freddy Krueger, he's killing teenagers and stuff. So I mean, it's not that big of a deal, right? These are younger. These are probably a teen and a preteen. But it's brutal. It's brutal. And I think, and like I said, I was not expecting it to happen. So I'm sitting there watching and watching, and it's just kind of like in the background, things are happening while the parents are like yelling at each other, and then all of a sudden it's like boom, like oh my god, oh my god. And there's a scene later on in the movie, and I was like, is that what I think it is? It is, and it was what I thought it was. And it was so startling. But like I said, the visuals are great. The special effects are great because most of them are all practical. It has your gore factor, has your gross factor, has your tenseness. I mean, you're learning about the story and the lore of this world and how people deal with these creatures in the same moment that these people are. I mean, they know that they exist, but they never really experienced it because it's always something that happens, 12 towns over. Like, oh, did you hear over in Denver they had one of those bloated people? Oh my God, really? Yeah, but they took care of it. Oh, okay. Or did you hear about that little town over there in, I don't know, Plainsburg. I couldn't think of a fake town name. It's probably a real town. But the whole town was wiped out by one of those rotted. Oh my God. So I mean, there's those type of things. They have that in their head kind of thing, but they don't experience it because it hasn't happened to them yet. So when it finally does happen, everybody's in disbelief. Like, no, that can't be happening here. Why would it happen here? It's just us. There's like 5 farms here. There's nothing else going on. Why would it happen here? It's like, it doesn't matter. It's happening. It's happening. And boy, did it happen. And they give you a set of rules and all that stuff. And I said, I really enjoyed it. I would have liked a bit more like lore to it fleshing out. Because I mean, the movie's what, an hour and 49 minutes or something like that? Hour 39 minutes. I feel like maybe 10 more minutes of exposition on the story or a little bit more into the demonology of it would have really benefited the movie. It's not necessary, but it definitely would have benefited the movie and benefited the viewers. So, but I can't praise it enough. It's one of my top movies of this year, which is crazy because I've seen at least 36 movies so far this year in theaters. So this being up there is a pretty big deal. Let me look at my movies here. Oof. God. And that's the thing. My 2 top movies this year are both movies I went in without watching trailers. I didn't watch any trailer for this movie. I literally just heard like 2 people say it was good and the future of horror. I read the description, brothers, blah, blah, blah. It's in Spanish, but I see it's subtitled, so let's go watch it. And then I went and watched it. And I think that really helps you. Wait, what? I gave it a 10. Oh, I think I gave it a 10 to balance out the homophobic people who were commenting. I was like, why would I give that a 10? Anyway, Yeah, so I didn't watch any trailers for the movie at all. I just went into it. I think there's something special about going into a movie and knowing nothing about it. Obviously, if you watch a trailer, it makes you want to watch the movie. But I feel like trailers today, a lot of trailers today just give you way too much information about the movies. I purposely only watch like the first trailer or the first teaser trailer for most things, and then I really try not to watch any other trailers. It's hard because when you go to the movies as much as me, you're going to see tons of trailers and you're going to see the edited trailers and the redone trailers for things. I mean, I've seen like 3 versions of the Marvels trailer. So you kind of get more and more story about it, and you see commercials on TikTok for things and stuff like that. It's like, stop. I know you want people to see it, but stop showing me more. I don't want to know more. I want to see it first, then show me more. So, but yeah, the other movie that I saw that's one of my top movies, if not the top movie of the year, of my year, is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. Knew nothing about it. Saw it in my Regal app. Saw that it was a coming of age story. I was like, eh. And then I saw it was a gay coming of age story. I was like, all right, I'll go check it out. Blew me away. Blew me away. And I wanted to watch it again. It was only in my theaters for like 4 days. And then it was gone. So, didn't get to see it again. It is coming to streaming, or at least digital, to purchase in this month, November. So, we'll see. I would love to own it on DVD, but I'm not entirely sure it's going to come out on DVD. I'd love for it too, though. God, it was just so good. Then Manuel, he was the narrator of the ebook. Doesn't have any. It made $407,000. I'm glad I could contribute to that. Because it's great. I think we talked about it before already, so we're not going to talk about it again. I think it was in episode 3 we talked about it. So, but anyway, so that and When Evil Lurks are 2 surprise hits that I just went on a whim to see and absolutely love them. So, if you have a chance to see those 2, I'd say go see it. When Evil Lurks was a limited release in my theaters, but it is on AMC Plus. So, and I've been really surprised. My theater recently has been having a lot of limited releases, and I have been very fortunate because my theater is a very small theater. I mean, it has, I don't know, 15, 16 screens, which is actually a lot. But it's my town is not very big, and the movie theater is not very busy. So the fact that it has these very, very limited releases like Aristotle and Dante was super limited. The fact that that was in my theater is insane. Even for 4 days is insane. That Evil's Lurks, man. Oh, it's brutal. When that comes out on DVD, I'm going to get it. I want to see that again. And I want to share that with people. That's a movie I want to watch with somebody else so they can see it and experience that whole with me. I want to see that. Man, the movie's good. So, another movie that I meant to put on my list, on my screenshot, but didn't because I'm a loser and I'm forgetful and I don't know how I forgot it. Because it was literally one of the movies I was going to talk about today. Oof. It has very, very low scores. It's not a very good movie. I gave it a 6. Its IMDb rating is a 4.9. Its Popularity is really high. What does that mean? What does that mean? Oh, it's one of the most popular movies right now on IMDb. It's in 8th place. The number 1 movie is Five Nights at Freddy's. Number 2 movie is Killers of the Flower Moon, which I did see. But we're not going to discuss that right now. I'm doing a review of that one. When single father Victor Fielding's daughter, Angela, and her friend Catherine show signs of demonic possession, it unleashes a chain of events that forces him to confront the nature of evil. Terrified and desperate, he seeks out Chris McNeil, the only person alive who's witnessed anything like it before. Chris McNeil is the mother from the original Exorcist movie from 1973, I believe. And she is played by Ellen Burstyn. Is that how you say it? Ellen Burstyn? Burstein? Anyway. So that's her. She's in her 80s, in her 80s now or something. She's very old. But they brought her back for the movie, which is a trend. That's a trend they've been doing a lot these recent few years. They're called legacy characters. The characters from the original movies that they bring back. So think Scream, and they're bringing back Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox and David Arquette. I never seen Scream, so I just know those people are in them. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the one on Netflix, which was not very good. They brought back the character, not the same actress, because the actress actually, I think, was too old. But they had her character came back. Complete waste. Jamie Lee Curtis in the newer Halloween movies playing Laurie Strode. I haven't seen those yet, but they are available to me to watch, I think. I own Halloween Kills. I don't have Halloween or Halloween Ends. Those have mixed reviews, I know. The same guy who did those movies did this movie, Exorcist Believer. So, you know, there's a conniption fit by some moviegoers by how this guy is single-handedly ruining horror movies. I can't speak to that because I've only seen this movie. I didn't see the Halloween movies. So, David Gordon Green is his name. Let's take a look at some other things that he's done aside from that. He did a movie called Prince Avalanche. Oh, he's a producer. A movie called Joe. He has 4 movies coming up. The Exorcist Deceiver, Hellraiser TV show. Let's see. I don't want you to be a producer. I want you to be the director. The Righteous Gemstones. I know that's a show people like. No, quit showing me producers. I want to see him as a director. Thank you. Halloween, Mythic Quest, Halloween. Stronger, Manglehorn, Eastbound and Down. The Sitter, Your Highness. Pineapple Express. He did Pineapple Express. I didn't see that, but regardless. So people aren't too keen on this David Gordon Green character. After watching The Exorcist Believer, I'm not very keen on him either, to be honest. I mean, it could just be a fluke. You know, not every movie director makes is good. Looking at some of you old white dudes. Like Ridley Scott, Martin Scorsese, Quentin Tarantino. I'll be honest, I really do like Quentin Tarantino movies. But anyhow, so this movie is just missing so much. It's missing so much from it that would make it a good movie. It's laughable how much is missing out of this movie. It's crazy. So they have this scenario where the girls conceive a plan, like teenagers do, where you tell your mommy I'm at your house, and I'll tell my mom that I'm at your house, or we're both at our friend's house, and all she has to do is lie about us being there, but we're not going to be there. So they can go out in the woods and kind of do like a little seance thing, so the one girl can talk to her deceased mom. And it's a really good setup. It's very much, I mean, there are some issues with it. They show the dad of one of the girls, and he's just a straight up butt. Straight up butt. As soon as the movie starts and they first introduce him, he's a butt. And it's just like, God, this guy's awful. And he was awful the whole movie. Like, he didn't even learn his lesson at all. For the whole movie, he didn't learn his lesson. The whole movie, he was bad. Like, you think he was learning his lesson, and then he goes and does something else. And it's like, God, dude, grow up. You're like in your 50s, man. Grow up. Who was that? Let's take a look. There's a white guy. I don't know which white guy it was. Oh, he's the father of one of the daughters. Father of one of the girls. So. But basically, so the girls go missing for 3 days in the woods, and all that is good. All of that is super tense. The girls are found. They seem a little off, but they're still able to talk and communicate, but they have these weird tics, and it's all very interesting until it's not. So they don't show the progression of things. Things just instantly become bad. And it's just like, no, I want to see more of the progression from little girl to possessed demon. If you think about the original Exorcist, yes, she's possessed, but there's so many things that happen that show you how she's possessed. But in this one, they're just possessed. And the one girl does some things, I guess. Angela, I should say, her name. And she's the main focus. Her and her dad, who's played by, whose name is Victor. He's Leslie Odom Jr. And it focuses on their family and the things that she's doing. And it was okay, but you would see things like she has the word "help me" carved on her stomach or carved on her skin. It's like, when did that happen? You didn't show us that, And I hate fingernail stuff. There's a lot of fingernail stuff in this movie. But they could have showed her, carving to her skin to help me, like, kind of stuff, but they didn't. There was just so many things they didn't show. And like I said, the focus is on this one family, Angela and Victor. Even though the other girl is also possessed. And the other girl has a family too. But there's so much focus on her. Like, we see her get pulled from school. We see her get put in like a mental hospital. We see her get pulled from the mental hospital. And then all we see from the other girl's family, who I don't understand why she's not one of the top listed people, She's one of the main characters. Is it Catherine? Or is it Hannah? You can tell how much I enjoy this movie. I don't even know the characters' names. It's her. Okay. This is her first movie. That's exciting for her. It was a horror movie. Catherine. So by the time we get back to Catherine's story and Catherine's family, it's already over. Like, the destruction that Catherine did is already done. We see her mom and Catherine's siblings praying. We see the dad losing his mind about it. And it's like, where's all that action? That could have been really interesting, seeing her interact with her siblings. I mean, maybe people don't want to see, again, kid stuff. But it's like, this movie's rated R. And he's not saying she has to kill her siblings, but traumatize them, make her crawl on the roof or something and have them scream. The mom and dad are devout Christians. You know, you could have challenged their belief system some in this movie. You could have showed them struggling with their daughter's possession and have them praying to God for help. And they do show a lot of that. But you could have had it in the same moment as seeing this possessed little girl. But they just skipped past it. They just skipped right past it. And we just ended up back at her house, and Chris McNeil was there to help. Like, that's it. And it's just like, so much lore right there was just gone. Why would you just skip that? The movie has a lot of talking. And just talking and talking. And a lot of it's just talking about religion. And not like in your face religion. Just talking about religion in general. And it was just kind of boring in that sense. Like, I need more spooky in my horror movies. I need to see these girls doing crazy stuff. Because in the original Exorcist, if you haven't seen it, I watched it a couple years ago. And it is still fairly shocking. It wasn't super scary to me because, you know, I don't believe in gods and demons and all that. But when it came out, obviously people were petrified. Some people don't even watch it to this day because they still believe in religion and their god's going to be upset with them because they watch this movie. Oh. Should be excited. The good guys win in the end. But this movie didn't have that. It was just a lot of talking. There was like a voodoo lady that was talking. There was like a Protestant that was talking. A Methodist was talking. The Catholic was talking. It was just like, okay, I get it. You all love Jesus. Like, I got it. It was just kind of boring because like the girls were possessed just in the background. So it's like me and you were talking about Jesus, and back here you have two demonic girls going for like 20 minutes, and it's just like, hello. You got demon girls behind you. Let's focus on them a little bit. And it just didn't seem like it was a high stakes thing. People were breaking their own rules. Like, here are the rules for the exorcism. Don't do this. Don't touch them. Don't do that. And then what do people do? They break the rules. It's like, you had one thing to do, and it was not do that. And you did it. Now you did. So, the most interesting thing about this movie is that I find is how it's polarizing, right? So actually, I want to check out its money. How much money did this movie make? So I want to compare that to Five Nights at Freddy. Some sexual references. We do know that the guy who originally wrote the original movie did not want to see this movie come to fruition. You shouldn't have sold the rights then, bud. There it is. Opening weekends for Exorcist Believer. Opening weekend. $26 million. 26.5-ish million dollars. Five Nights at Freddy's, $80 million. Their budget was $20 million. Crazy. Absolutely insane. It's crazy to me that movie made so little. The Exorcist, an established franchise, people know what it is. I mean, the other Exorcist movies weren't super well received either. I haven't seen any of those, but yeah, just to see that its gross worldwide is 122 million. I think it's like half of what Freddy's has right now. It's crazy. And Freddy's just came out on 27th. Yeah. So, what are we going to talk about this movie? Oh, how it's polarizing, this movie is. Exorcist Believer. So on one side, you have people upset saying the movie is super woke, right? Because you have two girls as the main characters who get possessed. One of them's black. Her daddy's black. There's a whole focus on her dad and her black family dynamics. Woke, 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 woke. You know how it goes. You also have a line by Chris McNeil when she was asked, and this is in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything for you. She was asked why she thinks she wasn't allowed to witness the exorcism of her daughter. And she says, probably the patriarchy. Which is considered very, very woke. Because even saying the word patriarchy is instant dude bro tears automatically. It's just, I can't believe you said that. I'm losing testosterone just thinking about it. But in reality, I mean, you could say that it makes sense because in the 70s, it was basically only male priests anyway. But if we're being honest, it just didn't fit. It didn't fit. I mean, she saw her daughter. Oh, you're back. Hey. We're talking about The Exorcist Believer, which another movie I forgot to put in my thumbnail, even though it was one of the movies I planned to review. We talked about Mary Tyler Moore Show, Bob Newhart, When Evil Lurks. We did Five Nights at Freddy's. And now we're talking about The Exorcist. You did miss, I'll reiterate it. So Five Nights at Freddy's budget was $20 million. Its opening weekend was $80 million. $80 million. The Exorcist Believer, its opening weekend was $26.5 million. Which is insane. Its opening weekend's only $26 million. And Five Nights at Freddy's, which it was also direct to streaming, same day, $80 million. $80 million. And like the worldwide gross is only $122 million. And not only, I mean, I know it's like, but $122 million for Exorcist Believer. But Five Nights at Freddy's is more than that. It's already. And it's been out since the 27th. Oh, I'm sure they'll make another Five Nights at Freddy's. I mean, they're already making another Exorcist. I already saw it on David Gordon Green's IMDb. Exorcist Deceiver. So. But anyhow, we're talking about the duality of outrage for The Exorcist. How the dude bros are super mad about it being too woke because, the main characters is a black family. And the legacy character that came back says the word patriarchy in it. So that upsets the dude bros. I hope it's better too. I hope they're both better. Five Nights at Freddy's and Exorcist. I hope they're both better than their current iterations. Yeah, super upset about it. I watched a review for it, and all the comments were just bitching about the patriarchy line. Because the legacy character, the mom from the original, she comes back and she says that patriarchy is the reason why she wasn't allowed to watch her daughter get exorcised. And it makes sense in the sense because in the 70s there weren't female priests and stuff. And there still aren't. Are there in the Catholic Church? I don't know. It's kind of a iffy subject there. But I didn't like the line because I didn't think it fit her character. I don't care that she said patriarchy. I just don't think it's something that she would have said. She saw the terrors. Yeah, they mentioned her daughter because in the movie, Chris writes a book about her daughter's exorcism. And apparently that upset her daughter for exposing her story. So the daughter hasn't talked to her in like 20 some years or something like that. In the movie, the mom is an author and she wrote the book. about her daughter's exorcism. So, without the daughter's permission, I guess. And got famous for it. So, yeah, so that's how the guy knew to go find her, because for her help. Yeah, I was okay with that too. Like that again, that's fine. I don't think the patriarchy line fits in with her character because she saw her daughter being possessed. She tried to help her daughter and realized she needed more help. So she needed to get, professionals to help her, which would be the priests. And she saw what toll that took on the priests. Did you see the original Exorcist? 1973? I don't think it's necessary to see this one, but I do think it helps you to understand. Okay, good. I only watched it a couple of years ago, so, I mean. But I do think it does help you understand why this one is not good. So, that's the one aspect. The dude bros, high tea, crybabies are crying about it. But then the opposite side of the spectrum, the more liberal people who I'm usually with, were pissing and moaning about it because there's a character in the movie who had an abortion and deeply regretted it, and because she's religious, and then it was used against her as like a form of psychological warfare about her abortion. So they took that as being an anti-abortion statement, that now the director hates women's rights and hates abortion rights and all that. Some type of anti-feminism thing. Well, again, but that's the thing I don't understand. Like, I don't see either one of those in this movie. It makes sense to her character. She admits it and she regrets it, and she's a devout Christian. So, but she did it when she was younger because she was gonna join the seminary or something like that. So it made sense for her character. And it made sense for the demon to know that about her. Like, I don't understand why people are thinking it's an anti-abortion message, though. I don't get anti-abortion message. I never sat there once thinking, oh my God, this man hates women. Like, I never thought that at all. It was literally in the movie. That character doesn't like abortion, but she got one and she regrets it. Like, okay, cool. Like, moving on. Like, it didn't make any sense to me that would be something that they would latch on to. Exactly. And I don't like saying, oh, how sensitive people are these days. But both camps were losing their minds about this movie. And I think that's another reason why the movie didn't do well. Because you have dude bros hating it because it's woke. Oh, black families, meh, patriarchy, meh. And then you have the liberals going, oh, women's rights, meh, abortion, meh. And it's just like, all right, that's the movie. See ya. The movie just wasn't good. It wasn't scary. I mentioned this in the beginning, that the movie started really well, but just couldn't keep itself going. Like, everything pre-possession and then immediately after the possession was good. And it got me excited. It was good build-up. And then it just kind of ended up being a bunch of people, a bunch of adults talking about religion. Like, well, I don't know. My Bible says this. Oh, well, my ancient texts say this. Oh, my God. And meanwhile, the little girls are back and they're going, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, can we focus on the little girls? I probably would never say that in my life ever again. But can we focus on the little girls there? They're possessed. Can we please talk about them? And they don't even show you one of the little girls' entire possession story. Like, it just goes from, oh my God, they're possessed, to, and then they focus on one family, but not the other one. So they don't even show you anything about the other family. And they really could have had 10 minutes of the other girl's experiences with her family. Because her family was super devout Christians. Her mom was all big old Bible thumper. Her dad's all the same. And she has siblings too. So you could have showed her terrorizing her siblings. Like, so many things they could have shown in that. Just give me 10 minutes. 10 minutes of something. No. Literally nothing. They go to her house It's already in disarray and destroyed. And then, Chris McNeil's there. And it's just like, what about everything else? Like, where's the horror? Where's the things they showed in a 1973 Exorcist with the crucifix and other things? Like, I want to see. That sounds really perverted. I'm not even gonna finish sentence. I want to see these girls be possessed. Okay, that's what I want to see. I want to see them head spinning around, vomiting. I want to see them terrorizing their siblings. Like, yeah, I wasn't gonna say I want to see them doing things to the crucifix because that's gross. That's the part that really shocked me when I watched the other one. So, but you just need horror in your horror movie. Did you see this one? Have you seen The Exorcist Believer? Oh, okay. But yeah, like I said, the first like 45 minutes, 50 minutes are good, and then I just after my review, I didn't actually. I mean, I guess this is my review. But yeah, it was disappointing. I mean, when it comes to streaming, you can watch it. You can see it. I don't think it's on streaming just yet. More watch options. You can rent it on Prime Video or buy it. So it's coming. It's coming soon. I don't know which company produced it, but it usually tells you what streaming service it's going to be on. Yeah. Would not recommend it very much. Not at all. I like The Nun. I like The Nun a whole hell of a lot more than The Exorcist. The Nun was good. That was spooky and that was scary. Quite a bit of jump scares in that one. I gave Exorcist Believer a 6. You think as much as I'm complaining about it, I wouldn't have given it a 6. But I did. It just left you wanting so much more. We did talk about When Evil Lurks. Phenomenal movie. That one, I think I gave it 8 or a 9. I love that one. That's the Spanish language one. Yeah, I mean, it's a little it's harder to do the lives than it is streaming Twitch because at least on Twitch, if nobody's in my chat talking, I can just keep playing the game. But on here, it's a little harder when nobody's here for me to talk to. I'm just kind of talking to myself, which I do all the time. But there's no one to bounce off of, have little conversations and stuff like that. So it's rough. It's rough. But we'll see. Yeah. I have the gift of stuttering and repeating myself repeatedly. Yeah, we've had any randoms. You're the only person who's chatted here tonight. The only one. No randoms and no veteran. How dare you? Yeah, at least in the stream though, I can game too. He might be tired. He did do his guitar stuff today, so because at least there I'm like, oh no, oh no, kind of stuff. Yeah, well, I'm sure if AP was awake, she'd probably be here. Ooh. Let's see, is there any other movies that I watched recently? Any other movies? Any other movies at all? I can't believe I forgot about The Exorcist. Like, I literally just watched it. We did talk about Saul already. Yeah, and Five Nights at Freddy's. I forgot that one. I literally just watched, but that wasn't one I was planning on talking about. The Exorcist, I was definitely planning on talking about last week when I was thinking about this stream. I was like, The Exorcist, I got to talk about that, and then I didn't. I'm trying to see. I can't see anymore. I'm trying to see my most recent things I looked at. See any other movies? I've been seeing so many movies. Like the book club, the next chapter. I did enjoy that one. I did give it a 7. Yeah, I lost my heat wave here. And then I looked, I gave the original book club only a 6, but the new one I gave a 7. Oh, A Haunting in Venice. Did I ever talk about A Haunting in Venice on a live? I don't think I did. I think the last live was what? Blue Beetle, Ari and Aristotle. Or Ari and Aristotle, that's the same character. Ari and Dante. Okay, well, The Haunting in Venice, I enjoyed. I gave it an 8. It did scare me at least once. Um, it's not scary, scary. It's it's it has some jump scares in it. Because it's a mystery movie, and Paul is seeing ghosts, or thinks he's seeing ghosts, or things are happening that could be attributed to ghosts, that kind of stuff. And it takes place during Halloween, so it is spooky in that sense. I only jumped that one time because I really just wasn't expecting it. It's like, whoa! But I mean, the acting's really good in it. I enjoyed it. I have a hard time following details. Like, they'll show things in my head. I'm not thinking, oh, oh yeah, which is weird because I'm usually really good with little details and stuff like that. But I just watched it to watch it, to enjoy it, to watch it unfold. And I was just sitting there like, oh, 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 oh. Like, everything was being unraveled in front of my eyes. But I didn't figure anything out whatsoever throughout the whole movie. I had very brief thoughts. I was like, oh, maybe the murderer is, so and so. And then I would just forget about it. Because there's so many little twists and there's so many little things in it that kind of throw you off. So, I mean, I enjoyed it though. The people who I was in the theater with liked it. Yeah, and it has Michelle Yeoh, Tina Fey, Jamie Dornan, obviously Kenneth Branagh. There's some spooky kids in it. You know, so now I've seen that one, and I've seen Death on the Nile. I have not seen Murder on the Orient Express. Oh, apparently when they made the movie, Kenneth Branagh. I can't see what that says. Good scary Halloween season movie. I would say so. I mean, it was a really mixed bag. I mean, I liked Haunting in Venice, but that Exorcist Believer was meh. But I loved When Evil Lurks. I'm trying to think of another meh. Five Nights at Freddy was meh. So it's really like a mixed bag of things. But I did see a lot more horror movies than I would have seen otherwise. So I think that's what's important. Well, the budget was 60 million. Worldwide gross 119 million. I don't know. I'm just kind of. I think I got my email from Regal saying I've seen like 36 movies this year so far. So, but I talked about this earlier. I lucked out with seeing When Evil Lurks. It was only in my theater for like a week, and that was one of my top movies of the year. And same thing with Aristotle and Dante. That was only in my theater for 4 days, and it's one of my top movies of the year. And I didn't watch trailers for either one of those. Oh, they're gonna change the rules of the past because of me. Although they do show me. So when they show me my email recap, they show you like your stats, and then they have a stat that's on there. It's like the highest amount of movies that somebody's watched in October. I watched like 8 movies in October, which is a lot. I mean, there's 4 weeks. That's like 2 a week. The most movies in October was like 60. Were there even 60 movies out in October? Like, Jesus. I watched 8. I mean, you can watch the same movie more than once, I guess. And if you're watching movies that came out before and you're watching them now, maybe you can hit 60. I don't know. I saw 8, and I think 8 is a lot. It's 100% worth it, though. I mean, even if, I was a working man, it'd still be worth it because I could still go see a movie on my day off. So I could still see 8 movies in a month if I just want to go to the movies on my days off. Or I can go to the movies at night. Mm-hmm. Or when they give me those stupid 5 to close shifts, I could have seen a movie in early afternoon. So I still could see stuff. Although I probably wouldn't have seen, when Evil Lurks or Aristotle and Dante, because I probably would have missed those. Just for the simple fact of how they were marketed out there. So let's see what else. Aristotle. Haunting in Venice, though. Yeah, I would definitely recommend Haunting in Venice. Oh, look, it's freelance. But dumb money. But 80 for Brady. Mafia Mama. It's Megan. I kept seeing the advertisements for Megan unrated on, I think it was on Peacock at one point and on Prime too. And I'm like, is it really unrated? Like, is it any different from the movie theater version? Like, I don't want to rewatch Megan if it's not going to be any different. So it's like, I don't want to start watching it. Just showed when the guy got chopped up. Oh, okay. Okay. Because I was looking at it and I was just like, they weren't mentioning it in the description. It said it was unrated in the picture, but it wasn't mentioning, and now the unrated version. Like, usually they really show you that. Okay, that's not too exciting then. Maybe if I rewatch it with somebody else, I'll watch the unrated version, but otherwise, Megan was fine. I'll pick it up in the bargain bin at some point. Although they're getting rid of DVDs. Like, Best Buy is going to stop carrying DVDs. Like, in January, they're not going to have physical media anymore at Best Buy. Yeah. They're stop selling all of their Blu-rays and DVDs. It's crazy. Well, they're probably not going to put them on sale. They're probably going to sell them off to Amazon or Walmart or somebody else to sell. Or they'll just destroy them. Which is probably what they'll really do. They have quite a bit on sale right now, but they're like $5.99, which isn't too bad. But usually, I don't know. I want cheaper. But I also want it to be movies I want to own. A lot of the movies are movies I don't even want to see, let alone own. I already own like 100 DVDs I've never watched. So, I'm looking at some right now. The Lighthouse. Never seen it. Own it. Dune. Never seen it. My grandma actually still has that one, so I can't watch that one. Halloween Kills we already talked about. That's The Shining. I've obviously seen The Shining. But like my brother gave me a bunch of DVDs when him and his wife were cleaning out their house. I mean, a lot of them I wouldn't watch, but it's going to be a long night to watch all those movies. I got a bajillion. I watched a bunch when I didn't have... watched them high. Well, you got to bring that. I watched a bunch when we didn't have internet last year or whatever. I watched a ton of movies and never seen, like Scarface. One of the Leprechaun movies. Oh, that's Avatar. Rocket Man, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Batman. So I was able to get a bunch of this. Well, yeah, I didn't have internet. I was going to be on Discord. I was going to use all my, I already used my data in like the first day of not having internet. Unless I went to the library. But now, I mean, since we have the building, I can just go to the building and use that Wi-Fi if I needed to. Not for gaming, but I can watch streaming shows there. I've watched TV shows there before, and it works just fine. But it's not strong enough to stream from. Yeah, those are rough times. Those were the worst of times. I did play a lot of Skyrim, though, so that was nice. Yeah, so that's pretty much all the movies that I've seen. What's coming out? Let's talk coming soons. What's coming? What's coming real hard? The Marvels, yes. I mean, I'm gonna see it. I do want to see it. I'm curious about it because I keep seeing more and more about it, and I don't want to because I talked about this earlier. I hate trailers. They're way too much in trailers nowadays. I watched the first trailer to get me hype, and I don't want to see anything else because now they're showing like jokes and they're showing the things that are happening. I'm like, no, I don't want to. I don't want it. Like I saw a little trailer today, and it was like Captain Marvel meeting the other girl again for the first time. It's like because that's the girl from her past, and it's like this is like an emotional re-meeting. It's like I don't need to see that right now. I want to see that in the theaters. I don't need to see that right now. I don't need that. So, but yeah, that's coming out. I do need to watch. I think I would need to watch the Secret Wars or Hidden Wars, whatever it is, the Skrull thing before that. I should probably get on that soon. I keep forgetting to check the Disney Plus and see if it's still working. Let's see. November 3rd is tomorrow. Priscilla. We talked about that earlier. That's coming out. It's about Priscilla Presley. I mean, I could go see it. I don't think I'm going to like it as much as Elvis, obviously. Go see this guy pretend to be Elvis. I wouldn't watch that. To be honest, it got... What are these awards it got? It won Best Film at the Venice Film Festival. And Best Actress. And Outstanding Lead Performance for a Gotham Award. And it's Sofia Coppola. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it to you. I'll probably go see it with my pass. I mean, I know it's not going to be as good as Elvis. Elvis Presley Enterprises declined both their approval for the film and the permission to use Elvis songs in the movie. So it's not even Elvis music in the movie. Again, it's not about Elvis, but... Somebody said this is very, very boring and repetitive. There's a movie coming out that I do want to see. Hey, T1BG. We're talking about coming attractions at the moment. Because we've already gone through the movies on our list. Oh, this is in December. Poor Things with Emma Stone. It looks so bizarre. And I'm very much interested in that bizarre. Oh my god! Like T1PG. It does look wild. When the first trailer I saw for it, I was like, what in the fudge is this movie? And every time I see more trailers for it, it's like, What is this movie? He built a girl and I don't know. It looks insane. And Mark Ruffalo's character just screaming randomly, like, oh! It's like, what is this movie? It's going to be something else. Looks better than Priscilla. Well, that's for sure. What happens later? Oh, that's a David Duchovny and Meg Ryan movie. Probably won't see that unless one of my friends wants to see it. Team MBG, we're talking about how successful Five Nights at Freddy was, or is. It's insane. Titanic the musical. It's coming out on the 4th. God of Heaven and Earth. Don't think we'll see that one. Oh, It's a Wonderful Life comes out on the 10th. The same time as the Marvels. The Holdovers. Surprised that wasn't a Mystery Movie Monday, because that looks like a Mystery Movie Monday if I've ever seen one. And I wouldn't be upset if that was a mystery movie. I would enjoy that. That's rated R, though. Oh, it's 80 million in its open weekend. 80 million. And it went direct to streaming. Like, 80 million for a movie that was directly to streaming, while Exorcist Believer was 26 million opening weekend. Crazy. The Journey to Bethlehem. Not gonna see that one. I really don't know most of these movies. That's the whole thing about the Movie Pass. I can go see them no matter what. Manodrome. Is that Jesse Eisenberg? Ugh. I don't like Jesse Eisenberg. He has that face that makes me want to hate him. Just every time I see him in something, I'm like, I don't want to see this kid. I don't know why. He just has that face I don't like. The Dirty South. You don't have like actors like that you just see them and you're just like, I don't want to see that movie. I mean, I don't like Channing Tatum much at all, but I know why I don't like him. I don't think he's entertaining at all. Well, that's why I don't like him. But Jesse Eisenberg, I mean, I don't really know him for much. I saw that Now You See Me movie, and he was in that, and it was okay, but don't know why he makes me hate him. Is this guy dead? Angus Cloud? Yeah, he died over the summer. He has a movie coming out called Your Lucky Day. A dispute over a winning lottery ticket turns into a deadly hostage situation. Eh. Villains Incorporated. There's Death on the Border with Danny Trejo in it. I didn't realize so many movies come out. It's crazy. I guess because they don't come to my theater. The Hunger Games. What? I've never seen a Hunger Games. I'm not worried about that one. Trolls. I don't know how successful that movie's going to be with all the Justin Timberlake stuff and Amy Schumer's in it and all her stuff that's going on. Thanksgiving. I'll go see Thanksgiving. Next Goal Wins. I'll probably see that. You know, we talked about that. The big thick dudes in that one we're probably going to go see. Amy Schumer's been running off of the mouth about this Israel thing. People are not happy about it. She's just generally, I think she's one of the most disliked female performers, just in general. And now she's doing all this Israel comments. I think Thanksgiving looks like a fun romp. What is this movie? Looks bloody. Love is all-consuming this narcotic nightmare crafted by John Ainsley. It's a psychedelic exploration of love, lust, and carnal desire. Do not disturb. Looks interesting. Napoleon Am I the only one who doesn't want to see Napoleon? Like, I like Joaquin Phoenix, but I have no interest in seeing him be Napoleon. Literally none. Ridley Scott's so over. What's the other movie he did that flopped massively? Vanessa Kirby's in it. I like her. Rupert Everett's in it. But it's just like these what are they called? Historical biopics? Like, not every character on planet needs one. What's that movie that Ridley Scott just did that was terrible? And he threw a piss fit about it. It was like, oh, young people don't know what movies are like anymore. What was that? He's a producer on Haunting in Venice. The Last Duel. Yeah. Yeah, see, I couldn't even remember the name of the movie or even who was in it until you mentioned it. Yeah. He got so angry about how the young folks didn't want to see it. The young folks. It's because it looks stupid. You got old ass Matt Damon with younger Adam Driver. Like, Ben Affleck's in it. Like, I don't want to see that. And it's a medieval movie. I don't want to see that either. Like, not good. The only reason I would see Napoleon, you got a Grammy. Probably I gotta go. No problem. I'm actually getting kind of hungry myself. I would only see Napoleon if like somebody else wanted to see it, and I'll go see it with them, which I feel like is gonna be the case. That's fine, Prince. Go enjoy your food. I'll probably be wrapping up soon anyway. It's been an hour and 32 minutes. I don't want to see Wish. I did at first, but when I heard one of the villain's song, God, it has Boomer written all over it. I've given you a house to live for free. I don't make you pay rent. I clean up after you. It's like, God. Agreed. Godzilla -1. What is that? Post-war Japan is at its lowest point when a new crisis emerges in the form of a giant monster baptized in the horrific power of the atomic bomb. A new Godzilla movie? Ooh. I haven't seen a Godzilla movie since, like, Matthew Broderick's Godzilla movie. Takes place almost a decade before the original Godzilla. So this is a prequel. I would go see that. I think I saw the previews for it and I thought it looked pretty good. Like, visually. It still has like that old Godzilla look. But it looks like updated. You know what I mean? I'm looking at the pictures now. Yeah, I think I'll see that one. Silent Night does not look good. But like you said earlier, I might go see it because of John Woo. I just want to see John Woo's movie. Renaissance, a film by Beyonce. Animal Crossing Christmas Festival, the movie. Fuck Them All, the story of heaven and hell, the making of a ballet. Okay, that's a rather long title. Two outlaws discover that they have been played and the only way to survive is to rise above it all and dance. What? What? Okay. Teddy's Christmas? It came from Dimension X. That sounds like a 1950s movie. It looks like a very poorly made... Well, I guess it's an indie film. It doesn't necessarily poorly made. There's Poor Things, The Boy in the Harem, Eileen, The End of Where We Start, Small Town and Christmas, Untitled Anime Film Fest event. Anyone But You, Wonka. Wonka looks bad. Timothy Chalamet does not look entertaining in that movie. Oof. Does not look good. And it's not because I'm like such a fanboy of the originals, which I am. Gene Wilder, and I like the Johnny Depp one. It just doesn't look right. Just looking at it, like I saw the first trailer and I was like, "What is this?" And he's like, "It's magic. It's chocolate." Like, is it chocolate? Is it magic? Tim Tim. Why do you have Donald Trump in that glass jar? What's going on here? A family movie? God. It's called Rainbows, a story about a special little girl, an abandoned horse, and a confused, abused, homeless female jockey surrounded by obstacles you all have to overcome. That's interesting. Aquaman's coming out in December as well. The trailer makes it look good. I do crack up because they really like cut Amber Heard out of that trailer. You see her in like two little pieces, like a zoomed out picture of a picnic, and you see her on the blanket, just her red hair. And then you see her punching a window, and that's it. And she's supposed to be his love interest, right? That's his wife or whatever. They cut her hard. This cracks me up. Like, how are they gonna reconcile that? Migration, that's that bird movie, it's animation. Oh, Ferrari's coming out in December. I don't care about that. Adam Driver. I do like Adam Driver. The color purple I'm interested in, but I've never seen the color purple. So I need to see the original color purple first before I see this bold retelling. Although this is a musical. Is the original a musical? I don't know. Night Swim. I've seen a trailer for Night Swim. It looks like it could be okay. The Underdogs, The Epidemic. Argyle looks like it could be interesting. That's in February. That's so far away. I didn't realize it's so far away. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to go. I mean, I did enjoy Kingsman 1 and 2. I did not see the prequel Kingsman. But it could be good. It might at least be entertaining. Might not be, Oscar worthy. At least be something. I guess that's pretty much it. We're getting into the Madam Web. That's the Spider-Man one. Oh, I did see the trailer for Bob Marley's movie, his biopic. Everybody's getting a biopic, guys. I don't know much about Bob Marley. But The Fall Guy, that doesn't look super good. Rayman's big movie. They're making a movie about Rayman. Not Rain Man. Rayman, the video game. Huh. Wow. Dune comes out in March. Holy shit. All right, we're in March now. We're too far. Ghostbusters sequels in March. Kung Fu Panda 4. Untitled M. Night Shyamalan movie. Godzilla vs. Kong, The New Empire. Untitled monster thriller for Universal Pictures Project. The Ark and the Aardvark. Deadpool 3 in May. My ex-friend's wedding? That's funny. Furiosa, that's I think it's a prequel to Mad Max, which I've never seen. Another Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Bad Boys 4 in June. A Quiet Place Day 1 in June. Despicable Me 4, a lot of fours here. Mufasa, The Lion King. Is this another Disney live animation? Yes. Timon and Pumbaa are still played by Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner. I don't think I want to see that. Untitled Venom sequel. Twisters. Kieran Shipka. But is Helen Hunt not in it? Because obviously... Oh, it's an update on it. It's not a sequel, it's an update. Lame. This is a sequel of the original film, or it's not a remake. It's entirely new in addition to be updated to today's methods of tornadoes. Doesn't that mean it's a remake? You're remaking it to today's standards? Maybe just different characters are just doing the same thing. Captain America Brave New World. Wow. Borderlands is in August. Oh, the Borderlands. The new Alien movie's in next year, too. There's a lot of things coming out that I'm actually kind of excited about next summer. Craven. Beetlejuice 2 in September. Another Transformers. God. Joker. Wait, The Evil Within. Oh, that's the video game. Evil. I'm thinking of When Evil Lurks. I was like, wait, what? Yeah, When Evil Within is a video game, and that I've never played it, but if it's any, I hear the games are spooky, so if it's anything spooky in the game, it should be pretty good. All right, so that's gonna be it for tonight, ladies and germs. It's been an hour and 42 minutes. I'm actually kind of hungry, which I shouldn't be, because it's almost 11 o'clock, so I shouldn't be eating anything at all. I'm glad we had this chance for this live. I do have a review coming out for Killers of the Flower Moon. It was a beautiful movie, but it was super flawed. So, there's so many things in that movie that just kind of bugged me. That really detracted from the movie overall. Night TWBG. That's probably going to come out next week at some point. Only because I haven't typed it up yet. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it tomorrow. I guess if I do it tomorrow, I can edit it. Next week, I have to work the election polls on Tuesday, and then I'm house sitting. So it's going to be a little complicated if I came here to record it and back there to edit it. I don't know. We'll see. Probably sooner than later, though. But yeah, that's it. And thanks for hanging out. And I hope you guys go to the movies. Go out there, Taylor Swifties. Alrighty. We'll see you again, I guess, later. Bye.